if you can't find true love, do not despair. Love in all its forms is a gift, but it is not the only one life offers. There is purpose in friendship, in service, in struggle, in the quiet dignity of self-respect. Life does not always hand us what we dream of, but it always offers us the chance to rise, to give, to be more than our circumstances. You may search for love in another person, but never forget to find it in yourself. There is power in walking alone with your head held high, in knowing that your worth is not determined by the embrace of another, but by your own courage, your own truth, your own light. If the world seems cold, be the warmth. If love does not find you, become it. Spread kindness like rain on dry earth. Let your compassion fill the spaces where romance might have bloomed. In doing so, you may discover a deeper love, one rooted not in desire, but in humanity. Even when life wounds you, do not let bitterness take root. Let every disappointment teach you tenderness. Let every rejection deepen your empathy. There is something noble in the heart that still chooses to hope. Remember, true love is not only between two people. It can be found in justice, in peace, in the bonds between communities. It can be found in the unwavering belief that we are meant to build something greater than ourselves, a world of dignity, a life of meaning. So if you can't find true love, do not let it make you feel small or incomplete. You are whole, you are worthy. And your life, just as it is, can be a vessel for love in its most enduring form, the love that lifts others, the love that liberates, the love that never gives up. Self-worth is not defined by romantic love. This is a truth many struggle to embrace, especially in a world that often glorifies relationships as the ultimate validation of one's value. From films, books, and songs to everyday conversations, society paints a picture that to be loved romantically is the highest form of human success. But this belief is both misleading and unfair. It suggests that those who are single, heartbroken, or have never experienced romantic love are somehow less whole. In reality, your worth as a person is not determined by whether someone chooses to love you. It is inherent, unchanging, and deeply personal. When people seek love, what they often long for is a mirror, someone to reflect back their beauty, their strength, their goodness. But if we rely entirely on someone else to show us who we are, we surrender the most powerful knowledge we can possess, self-awareness. Knowing your own worth means standing tall even when no one stands beside you. It means recognizing that your kindness, your resilience, your dreams, and your actions are valuable in and of themselves. You are not waiting to be completed. You are not a half waiting for a whole. You are already complete. Romantic love can be beautiful and enriching, but it should never be a requirement for self-acceptance. There are people who have loved deeply and still felt lost, just as there are people who have never experienced romantic love but live full, joyful, and impactful lives. True self-worth is built in quiet moments when you show up for yourself, when you keep promises to yourself, when you overcome challenges and keep moving forward despite fear or loneliness. The danger of tying self-worth to romantic love is that it makes your happiness conditional. It puts the responsibility for your peace and confidence in someone else's hands. If they leave, if they don't love you back, if they change suddenly, your value is shaken. That's a fragile foundation. But when you root your worth in who you are, not in who loves you, you become unshakable. You can enjoy love when it comes and grieve it, when it goes without losing your sense of self. This is not to say that longing for love is wrong. It's a human desire and a valid one. But it must not be the only lens through which you see yourself. You are already enough. Whether someone loves you romantically or not does not diminish your intelligence, your creativity, your humor, or your heart. The most powerful love you can find is the one that allows you to look in the mirror and say, I am enough, I am worthy, I matter, and that truth will never depend on anyone else. Love takes many forms, and romantic love is only one expression among countless others. While it is often portrayed as the most desirable and fulfilling type of connection, it is by no means the only source of meaning, joy, or intimacy in life. Love can be found in friendships that sustain us through difficult times, in family bonds that shape our values and identity, in the quiet loyalty of a pet, and even in the work we do when it is done with care and purpose. To reduce love only to romance is to overlook the richness of human experience. Friendship, for example, is a powerful and enduring form of love. A true friend is someone who sees you, understands you, and accepts you not because they are romantically attracted to you, but simply because they care. The support of a good friend can heal wounds, inspire growth, and offer comfort that is just as profound as any romantic relationship. Friendships are built over time through shared experiences, trust, and vulnerability. They do not depend on attraction or the expectations that often weigh on romantic bonds. In many cases, friendships last longer and adapt more gracefully over the years. Love also shows itself in acts of service when you help a stranger, comfort someone in pain, or stand up for what's right. There is deep love in choosing compassion over indifference, generosity over selfishness. When you show up for your community, your family, your colleagues, or even for those you may never meet, you are living out one of the most powerful forms of love, the love that uplifts and connects us as human beings. This kind of love creates a better world. It builds trust, bridges divides, and restores dignity. There is love in creation in art, music, writing, and invention. When someone pours their heart into making something beautiful or useful, they are sharing a piece of themselves with others. This love is not personal in the traditional sense, but it is still intimate. It reaches across time and space and touches the lives of people who may never know the Creator. That, too, is love, the kind that echoes and endures. Even solitude can be a space for love. When you care for yourself, nurture your health, follow your passions, and protect your peace, you are practicing self. Love a quiet but essential kind. It doesn't mean isolation or selfishness. It means understanding that your well-being matters, that your inner world is worth tending to. The better you love yourself, the more love you are able to give to others, not from a place of lack, but from fullness. When we open our eyes to the many forms of love around us, we begin to live more fully. We realize that love is not something we must chase or earn. It is something we can choose to give and receive in many ways, every single day. Romantic love may come and go, but the other forms of love, friendship, compassion, purpose, and self-respect are always within reach, always ready to carry us forward. Choose hope and kindness over bitterness, especially in the face of rejection, heartbreak, or disappointment. Life will not always give us what we desire, especially in matters of the heart. People may walk away, relationships may not unfold as we envisioned, and love may not always be returned. In these moments, it is easy to let pain harden us. It is tempting to close off, to build walls, to protect ourselves by turning cold or cynical. But while bitterness may feel like armor, it is in fact a prison. It locks us into a cycle of resentment that drains our spirit and dims our capacity for joy. Hope, on the other hand, is not weakness. It is one of the most powerful forces a person can carry. To hope is to believe that even after pain, there is healing, that after a dark chapter, there will be light. That no matter what you've lost, something meaningful can still be found. Hope does not deny pain, it coexists with it. It says, yes, this hurt, but it will not define me. When you choose hope, you give yourself permission to keep moving forward, to keep growing, to remain open to life. Kindness is also a radical choice. It takes strength to remain kind when you've been hurt, to not let someone else's cruelty, indifference, or failure to love you change your own heart. There is dignity in continuing to treat others and yourself with compassion even when love has failed you. Bitterness may offer a sense of control or superiority, but it ultimately isolates. Kindness connects. It invites warmth, empathy, and healing. When you respond to pain with kindness, you reclaim your power. You prove that the world cannot turn you cold unless you allow it. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending to be okay when you're not. It's important to grieve, to feel anger, to acknowledge betrayal. But there is a difference between processing pain and becoming defined by it. Let yourself feel, but then let go of what poisons you. Let go of the idea that suffering must harden you. It is possible to hurt and still choose grace. The world is already full of people carrying the weight of their wounds with bitterness. But the people who inspire us, who lift others, who create change, they are the ones who, despite everything, choose to love again, to give again, to believe again. These are not naive choices. They are courageous ones. So when faced with the temptation to close off, choose instead to remain open. When your heart is heavy, let hope be your light. When others are cruel, let kindness be your response. These choices will not always be easy, but they will shape a life of strength, peace, and quiet triumph, because in the end it is not bitterness that heals. It is the gentle power of a heart that chooses to stay soft in a hard world. Be a source of love. Even when you don't receive love in the way you hoped for, you still have the power and the choice to give it. This may feel unfair at times, especially when your own heart is hurting, or when the love you give goes unnoticed or unreturned. But love, in its purest form, is not transactional. It is not given with conditions or expectations. It is a gift, and offering it freely can be a powerful act of personal strength and quiet rebellion against the coldness that sometimes surrounds us. When you become a source of love, you stop waiting for others to define your emotional reality. You step into the role of a giver, a builder, a comforter. You shift your focus from lack to abundance, from what you don't have to what you can offer. This does not mean depleting yourself or allowing others to take advantage of your kindness. It means recognizing that you have within you the ability to create warmth, to encourage, to inspire, to show up for others in ways that matter. Being a source of love can look like listening without judgment, offering a helping hand, or showing patience when someone else is struggling. It can be as simple as a smile to a stranger, a kind word, or a moment of honesty shared with someone who needs it. It can also mean standing up for others, defending the dignity of those who are marginalized, and being a force for justice in a world that too often turns its back on the vulnerable. These are all acts of love, and they matter deeply. It is easy to believe that love is only significant when it is grand or dramatic. But the truth is, some of the most powerful love is quiet and consistent. It lives in everyday choices, the way you care for your friends, the patience you show your parents, the way you forgive yourself when you fall short. This kind of love may not always be praised or seen, but it builds a life of meaning. It shapes your character and leaves a lasting impact on those around you. There is something profoundly healing in becoming what you once searched for. If you longed for kindness, offer it. If you felt unseen, see others. If you felt forgotten, remember someone. In giving love, you often find that it returns to you in unexpected ways. It may not look like the romantic love you once hoped for, but it can be even more enduring, a network of connection, a legacy of compassion, a life that quietly changes the world around you. And most importantly, when you become a source of love, you remind yourself that your heart is still alive, that it still beats not just for itself, but for the good it can do. You don't have to wait for love to arrive from outside. You can be the beginning of it, right here, right now, for someone else and for yourself. You are whole on your own. This truth can be difficult to accept in a world that constantly suggests otherwise, in movies, in songs, in the way society often treats single individuals as if they are incomplete or waiting for someone to make them whole. But the reality is that your value does not begin when someone loves you, and it does not end when they stop. You were born worthy. You have always had everything you need within yourself to live a full, meaningful, and dignified life. We are conditioned to believe that love from another person is the final piece of the puzzle, the thing that will make everything else make sense. But what if the missing piece isn't someone else? What if it's the acceptance of who you are right now without needing to be chosen? Your mind, your heart, your spirit, they are enough. You have the capacity for growth, joy, creation, healing, and strength within you already. No one else can give you those things. Others can support you, walk beside you, love you, but they cannot complete you, because you are not missing anything. When you truly understand this, everything changes. You stop settling for relationships that diminish you. You stop chasing after validation from people who cannot see your worth. You stop looking outward for answers that have always lived inside you. And in that space, something powerful happens. You begin to enjoy your own company. You start to appreciate solitude, to savor your independence, and to build a life that reflects your values and dreams. Being whole on your own does not mean rejecting love or isolating yourself. It means building a strong foundation so that when love does come, it enhances your life rather than filling a void. It means knowing who you are and refusing to shrink for anyone else's comfort. It means walking forward with confidence, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust yourself to find them. So if love has not arrived in the form you imagined, do not lose heart. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not less than anyone else. You are walking your own path, and every step you take, even the lonely ones, are part of a story that only you can write. There is so much beauty in being at peace with yourself, in not waiting to be loved before you allow yourself to be joyful. And so, let this be your reminder, you are not defined by who loves you. You are defined by how you live, how you love, how you rise after falling, and how you treat others and yourself along the way. Whether or not true love finds you, you still have the power to live a life full of love, meaning, and truth. You are whole, you are enough, you are worthy, and that has always been true.